Hello, my name is Desiree Smart, and I will be giving a presentation on career counseling theory and application. In this presentation, I will discuss Donald Super's lifespan, lifespace theory, and also adolescent career development. I will also apply Donald Super's theory to adolescent career development, and there will be a video presentation at the end to discuss this. Donald Super developed the lifespan, lifespace theory, which is a developmental theory. However, Super defined it as a differential, developmental, social, phenomenological career theory. For over 40 years, Super and his colleagues refined and extended the premises of this theory. Super viewed his theory as more of a combination of important aspects of leading developmental and career theories. His theory was adaptable and changeable as he and his colleagues continuously expanded on the theory. Super understood the complexities of career development and sought out to combine and further create existing career and developmental theories in order to better explain the process of career development. Super delved into the works and research of Charlotte Buehler, Robert J. Havinghurst, George Kelly, Delbert C. Miller, William H. Form, and Carl Rogers to use within his theory. Super's lifespan, lifespace theory is still one of today's leading developmental approaches in career counseling. His theory is regarded as one of the best and as of today is rarely contested. Super examined and addressed the faults in previous and current theories and used this to expand his own theory. For example, the occupational choice theory proposed by Ginsberg, Axelrad, and Herma. Super found various deficiencies and shortcomings within this theory. He believed the theory failed to take areas such as interests and choice into account. Three main aspects of career development are described in Super's segmental theory. They are lifespan, lifespace, and self-concept. The Career Development Assessment and Counseling Model is an important intervention used within Super's theory. Using this model as an intervention assists individuals in clarifying personal career concerns, life road salience, and self-concepts. Super hypothesized numerous certain expectations regarding differences in individuals' self-characteristics, which make individuals more suitable for certain occupations and self-concepts in which adjustments and decision-making is an ongoing, changing process that continuously evolves. Super also expanded on these expectations in a variety of categories. For one, that the changing process can be broken down according to 6 life stages. Secondly, that contextual and personal factors, such as socioeconomic status and values, influence the occupational level and career pattern of an individual. Lastly, that coping patterns between an individual and their previous careers influences their readiness to cope with career development tasks. The lifespan category of Super's theory states that career development is a lifelong process. Careers develop within the context of psychosocial development and societal expectations and against the backdrop of the occupational opportunity structure. The occupational opportunity structure is the setting for career development with the various circumstances of psychosocial development and societal expectations are the forerunners. Lifespan, career maturity. Throughout their educational experiences, children and adolescents have various decision-making experiences. The current level of readiness for children and adolescents to make career-oriented decisions is referred to as career maturity. Career maturity, high school. Previous career-oriented decisions made by high school students include extracurricular activities or specialized classes such as vocational programs. Students in high school have the platform of previous decision making to help guide in these types of decisions for the future. Students in high school will make even more career-oriented decisions than before. Examples of these decisions are college major, military, or trade school. Lifespan, adaptability. Like adults, adolescents encounter various obstacles that require them to adapt and overcome. To adapt to career development tasks, adolescents require appropriate coping mechanisms. Lifespan, career adaptability. In adulthood, age and career development are not directly connected, as is for children and adolescents. Occupational opportunities and life role participation changes create career development in adults. The term career adaptability reflects this in that as adults cope with their changing work and working conditions, adults make an impact on their environments and their environments make an impact on them. Lifespan process. Using the research of Buehler, Havighurst, and Miller and Form, Super formed his idea of career development. He described this as the life course of a person encountering a series of developmental tasks and attempting to handle them in such a way as to become the kind of person he or she wants to become. Stages of career development. Super used stages and substages of career development to describe the order of developmental tasks that are encountered in most cases for most individuals. These are growth, childhood, exploration, adolescence, establishment, early adulthood, maintenance, middle adulthood, disengagement, late adulthood. Growth, childhood. This stage covers children from ages 4 to 13 who are progressing through the substages of fantasy, interest, and capacity by using their innate sense of curiosity, first to engage in occupational fantasies, and then through exploring their environment. Children progress through these substages by developing their sense of self and basic understanding of the world of work, ultimately leading them to gain knowledge about work, interests, and capacities. When this stage goes well for children, they are increasingly able to use what they have learned about themselves and work to measure the viability of various educational and occupational opportunities. Exploration, adolescence. This exploration stage covers 14 to 24-year-olds who have combined previous lessons about the work world and themselves to gain an understanding of the influence of the presence on all future events and how they transpire. They now start planning for the future in a variety of ways, including crystallizing and specifying occupational preferences in regard to career development. Establishment, early adulthood. This occurs from ages 25 to 45 and when career development tasks begin to stabilize, consolidate, and advance. When stabilization occurs, the individual evaluates if there is adequate opportunity for self-concept expression within their newly chosen occupation. They then acknowledge that the career decision was appropriate or not. If appropriate, the individual begins to consolidate. They plant themselves in the occupation and become even more of a reliable and producible worker. This will more than likely lead the individual to advance in their career successfully. Maintenance, middle adulthood. This occurs during ages 45 to 65, where the tasks of holding, updating, and innovating occur. The choice to improve work performance or leave their career field is a major decision in this stage. If they decide to find a new occupation, they must recycle through exploration and establishment stage tasks. If they decide to stay, they must learn new skills to innovate and apply them to their current occupation to avoid becoming stagnant. Disengagement, late adulthood. This stage occurs around age 65 and is where the interest in planning for retirement begins. This is mostly due to an interest in work activities and physical ability declining. The individual then begins to turn the tasks of deceleration, retirement, planning, and retirement living, with emphasis on physical, spiritual, and financial well-being. Although most individuals retire and leave their occupation, they may find interest in new employment that more suits their personality and interests. Life space. Super noticed and understood the importance in both the busy personal life, career life, and how they interact together. He describes this as the simultaneous combination of life roles we play constitutes the lifestyle. Their sequential combination structures the life space and constitutes the life cycle. The total structure is the career pattern. Life space, life roles. The meaning and influence behind a job is different dependent on the person and the interaction of their specific active or previous life roles. In Super's life space portion of his theory, he described that oftentimes individuals will place more importance on their occupation in regards to self-worth than with other life roles. The patterns of life roles provides a level of importance that Super referred to as the life structure. Life space, 9 major roles. Super named and described 9 major life roles in his theory: son or daughter, student, leisurite, citizen, worker, spouse or partner, homemaker, parent, and pensioner. Life space, life role theaters. Super defined 4 specific theaters in which life roles are played out: home, school, workplace, community. Life space, life role demands. Clients requiring assistance in coping with career demands also require focus on other life roles. Super acknowledged this by focusing on the importance of how clients satisfactorily structure the roles of work, play, friendship, family. Self-concepts. Self-concept is defined as a picture of the self in some role, situation, or position performing some set of functions or in some web or relationships by Super. Self-concepts, personal and situational. Within the self-concept portion of Super's theory, he aimed to represent personal and situational factors that shape life roles that individuals partake in and influence their self-concepts. In order to do this, Super used the archway model and life-career rainbow in his theory. Self-concepts, personal. In Super's theory, the 3 personal factors are aptitudes, values, and needs. Self-concepts, situational. In Super's theory, there are 4 situational factors: the family, the community, the economy, and society. Self-concepts, objective and subjective elements. In Super's theory, self-concepts have both objective and subjective elements. Objectively is a comparison to others is a tool individuals use to develop self-understanding. Subjectively is individuals place meaning on their established life experiences through life stories and in order to develop understanding. Lifespan, life space, theory application. Super created the Career Development Assessment and Counseling, CDAC, model in order to apply his theory into practice. The CDAC model contains instrumental application derived from different portions of Super's lifespan, life space theory. The CDAC model helps to alleviate clients' concerns throughout the stages of the lifespan, life space theory, but places an emphasis on those in the exploration stage. Adolescents oftentimes are a major focus in the exploration stage. However, adults may also find themselves in this stage, especially during a career change. When first entering the exploration stage, individuals must focus on clarifying values, realizing skills, and their major interests in an effort to connect those to their initial occupational options. Super and his colleagues created the Adult Career Concerns Inventory, ACCI, to gauge a client's current career development dilemma. Using the ACCI, a career counselor can evaluate the client's concerns in the theory stages of exploration, establishment, maintenance, and disengagement. If a client lacks the resources for choosing a career, they must develop positive attitudes towards career exploration and planning, learn how to gather information about themselves and occupational options, and learn how to make career decisions. Super and his colleagues developed the Career Development Inventory, CDI, to assess the following for high school and college students in regard to their readiness for making career decisions: career planning, career exploration, world of work information, knowledge of career decision-making principles. In an effort to structure the basic rules of work, play, friendship, and family into life, Super's model helps clients determine the pattern of priority for their life roles. Using the CDAC, clients will explore their life role salience to realize and understand their level of importance for each life role. Counselors can also ask their clients the following questions to help them understand their life role meaning attachment. How do you spend your time during a typical week? How important are your different life roles to you? What do you like about each life role you play? What life roles do you think will be important to you in the future, and what do you hope to accomplish in each of them? What do your family members expect you to accomplish in each of your life roles? What life roles do they play? Super and his colleagues also developed the Salience Inventory as another method for counseling on life role salience. This inventory measures the 5 life roles within 3 dimensions. Those dimensions are behavioral component participation, affective component commitment, and affective component values expectations. In order to examine life role activities, Super's theory uses the pie of life exercise. During this exercise, clients slice a pie according to the amount of time they spend on certain activities during the week. This pie may also be drawn out. It is not expected to be a real pie. The clients then identify and discuss the reflected values from their pie with the counselor. To further guide and enhance self-concept growth, Super and his colleagues developed the Values Scale. This scale has 21 intrinsic and extrinsic values that is used to measure the values within life roles that clients wish to express. Contextual factors, dominant culture, culture of origin, all shape life role salience. Super's life role self-concepts are shaped by our personal and situational determinant contexts. The contextual factors of dominant culture and culture of origin are often not paid attention to by individuals and shape life role salience through an interaction with identity development. Dominant culture. When planted in beliefs based on gender, racial, and other stereotypes, the life role salience patterns inherited by culture can certainly become an issue. It is up to the career counselor to identify and assist in removing any negative stereotypes such as sex role stereotyping, that they have inherited from their dominant culture. Culture of origin. Values expressed in life roles can also be influenced by the client's culture of origin. A career counselor must also discuss, identify, and examine the importance and influence that expectations derived from the client's culture of origin are. One way to complete this is to work with the client on building a family genogram to examine family background, cultural prescriptions, and career planning interactions. Developmental and actuarial method. Super described the developmental method as also the thematic extrapolation method. This method allows counselors to have their clients develop autobiographical chronologies of their past activities. This is used to help the counselor make sense of the past, explain the present, and draw a blueprint for the future. Using the actuarial method, the career counselor will have the client focus on traits and place of previous history. Super's cycles of career counseling. Super developed a 6-cycle career counseling method that enabled a counselor to incorporate developmental and actuarial methods into career counseling. These 6 cycles focus on either directive or non-directive methods. Number 1. Non-directive problem exploration and self-concept portrayal. The client tells his or her story. Number 2. Directive topic setting for further exploring. The counselor and client clarify career concerns and identify which ones they will focus on first. Number 3. Non-directive reflection and clarification of feeling for self-acceptance and insight. The counselor uses empathic responding and basic counseling skills to help the client clarify his or her situation, feelings, and thoughts. Number 4. Directive exploration for factual data from tests, occupational pamphlets, extracurricular experiences, grades, and so forth for reality testing. The counselor and client collect relevant information regarding the client's characteristics and potential options via job shadowing, occupational information interviewing, volunteering, and externships. Number 5. Non-directive exploration and working through of attitudes and feelings aroused by reality testing. The client tries out potential options and reflects on the experiences with the counselor, focusing on thoughts and feelings and how the experiences may inform the client's next step. Number 6. Non-directive consideration of possible actions for help in decision making. The client identifies what she or he will do next to move forward in her or his career development. Ethical considerations. Donald Super's life role, life space theory is a very well articulated and thought out clearly with the client and their occupational success in mind. Due to the continuous research and development placed into this theory by Super and his colleagues, there is little concern that a client or counselor may face any serious ethical dilemmas. Of course, with this theory, a career counselor must be careful when discussing influences from dominant culture or culture of origin. Although some non-helpful influences may need adjusting, the career counselor must remain delicate in how they address this. If they come across too harshly, the client may infer negative judgments against their cultural background. In regard to career development, there are 3 main goals for high school students to achieve. Firstly is to develop more advanced self-knowledge. In order to achieve this, students must be able to positively interact with others and develop the skills they are lacking to do so. They must also understand that career planning is an investment of continuous growth and the positive implications of doing so. Secondly is for students to develop skills for engaging in educational and occupational exploration. This requires students to understand that work and learning require positive attitudes and to also acknowledge the educational achievement and career planning relationship. They also want to focus on improving their job search skills and understand the influential structure of work in regard to societal needs and functions. Lastly, is for students to strengthen the skills to make decisions. Students will accomplish this through gaining an understanding of the changes and interrelationships of male roles, female roles, and life roles, while also focusing on career planning and developing those skills. Career choice readiness for high school students. According to Super, there are 5 dimensions of career choice readiness. 1. Having a planful attitude toward coping with career stages and tasks. 2. Gathering information about educational and occupational opportunities. 3. Exploring the world of work. 4. Knowing how to make good career decisions. And 5. Being able to make realistic judgments about potential occupations. Adolescent Career Choice Intervention, Value Sorting. The objective for this activity is to assist the student in understanding, clarifying values and their importance, and realize what are their most important values. Overall, this helps the student to understand how important the consideration of values is in planning and decision making in regard to careers. The student will be given a values list handout and 5 pieces of paper and will identify 10 values and then 5 values from those 10. I will then inform the student that I am going to take one value from him, leading him to decide what is of most importance. After I have taken the value, my student will write down the value, definition, and what it means to him. I will continue this for every other value in order for the student to have a descending order list of top 5 values. Hello, Mr. Smart, how are you?
Good.
Good. So we've been meeting to discuss your career development, and today I have an activity that will help you identify and define some of your values. Does that sound like a good activity you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start off. I have this list of values here, and I just want you to take the pen and just mark off 10 values, your top 10. You don't have to number them, just give them a good X. There's also 2 sheets of paper, sorry. Okay. Now you have 5 cards right there next to you. On each card, I want you to write 5 of these 10 values for you to choose. If you could only keep 5 out of these 10, which are your top 5? Just write 1 per card. Side. Now, I'm going to take one of your values away from you. Which value would you give up out of those 5? Okay, so we have, okay, so I want you to write that value down on the blank sheet of paper right there. And I want you to just give it a quick definition and what it means to you. Okay, and just go ahead and write the number 5. Just anywhere around you. Okay. Let me just see a piece of paper. Okay. Now I'm going to take another one of your values. Which value, if you had to give one of those, would you give up? Okay. Now I want you to do the same thing. Write out a piece of paper, give it a quick definition, and what it means to you. Okay, write the number 4 on it. Okay, now I'm going to take another one of your values from you. Which one would you give up next? Okay, same thing. Okay, write the number on there. And you're down to 2. So which one would you give up next? All right, thank you. And obviously number 1. Go ahead and do that. Awesome. Okay, good job. So one reason for doing this exercise is to help you start to realize what your values are. Because when you start to make career decisions, All jobs have gains and losses, and you really want to try to pick an occupation that caters to your values. Because the more values you lose in an occupation, the potential it has for just honestly disaster. So we'll meet again in 2 weeks, and during that time, I want you to, write on here how often your life is applied to your values. So during the week, just think about the things, that you do, whether it's school, volunteering, extracurricular activities, spending time with family, and how those apply to your values. And you'll start to see whether you do or do not attend to your own values throughout the week. And then we can maybe get you into more activities that align with that, such as volunteering, things like that. Do you have any questions?
No.
I look forward to continuing to work with you and get you more excited about career development and motivated, because you'll be graduating soon, and we want to make sure that whether it's trade school or you go into the military or it's picking a college major, that we really get you on the right track and get you excited. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Working toward goals in career counseling. In the video example, I am assisting the student with realizing their values. This is to assist the student in achieving Goal 1, to develop more self-knowledge. With this self-knowledge, the student can make better career choice decisions. These decisions will be based on what they know about themselves, not what they think they know. Working toward goals in career counseling. In addition to this exercise, I also gave the student homework. In this homework, the student was to take their values home with them and evaluate how often they are applied in everyday life. The purpose of this is for the student to start now with realizing if they are living their life to their wishes. If not, the student may already be on a bad start to making decisions and not realizing their full potential based on their actual values. An area of current research in the adolescence and career development field focuses on the parental-adolescent relationship. Rogers, Creed, and Praskova studied the correlation between parents and adolescents in regard to career development tasks and vocational identity. In this research, they defined vocational identity as having a clear, stable, and coherent picture of one's career interests, goals, and abilities, and reflects having developed a strong commitment to internalized career goals. They found that for adolescents, their vocational identity is influential regarding their engagement in career-related tasks and not so much their parents' perceptions of such. Another area of research regards elementary students and the most efficient method of career interventions. This research reveals how young students will more than likely react more positively to more technologically advanced career development methods versus not. Cerrito, Trusty, and Behoon researched and compared web-based and traditional career interventions in elementary children. In their research, they found that counselors relied heavily on technology-based career development programs. After performing their study, they found that web-based interventions do significantly influence elementary school children. However, more research is still required, and any intervention is significant. They also point out the lack of research and programs for elementary school students in career development. Another area of research is in the preparedness of high school students for career decisions that actually suit their interest and the role of the educational system on such. Career development and counseling should support the psychological growth of students to truly gain the correct attitude and aptitude to make a proper career decisions. Galustin, Salyenkina, Slobodkov, Kulshov, and Solyenkin studied recent high school graduates to find their level of previous career counseling and how efficient they believed it to be. Of those studies, only 30% of the 50% of graduates that did receive career counseling during their education found it useful. This study concluded that extensive and continuous career counseling, especially regarding a student's knowledge of their abilities and interests for their dream future profession, is highly necessary. Another area of research is the effect of numerous career development intervention education programs on career development skills and school success in students. Choi, Kim, and Kim studied this correlation on adolescents that over a 2-year period participated in career development programs that focused on 6 specific skills. These career development skills were citizenship, self-regulated learning attitudes, career maturity, and self-concept, and school success skills of problem-solving, orientation, and academic achievement. Their research found that both school success and career development skills improved the more students participated in career development programs. This research reveals again the importance of career development programs in school, and it is highly beneficial for the student in more ways than one. Another area of research is on the success of students with disabilities and career development approaches. Bellman, Bergstaller, and Ladner researched the effectiveness of work-based career learning experiences in the areas of industry and research internships, career development activities, job shadows, field trips, and mock interviews for high school and post-secondary students with disabilities. In this research, they found that compared to those students with disabilities who did not receive work-based career interventions, students with disabilities revealed a more positive outcome. These positive outcomes were increased motivation to work towards a career, increased knowledge about the workplace. They believed that work-based learning experiences were valuable, experienced greater employment success when compared to those who did not engage in work-based learning, and development of meaningful relationships with peers and mentors. This research also reveals that the area of STEM-based opportunities require more research and application for students with disabilities. Another area is that of social media and the influence on career development in adolescence. Wessels and Diel conducted research on the social media platform Facebook and its potential to influence adolescent career development globally. In their research, they studied 17-year-old South African adolescents and their use of Facebook as a career development instrument. In order to properly evaluate, the researchers compared their findings with that of those from other career development modalities. They found that not only is Facebook a good supplementary career counseling instrument, but also a good triangulation of information instrument. This is significant as career assessment and counseling globally is not an even flow of information or opportunities. With more research on career development and social media will come more efficient methods. Another area of research is the effect that teachers have on career development for their students. In order for teachers to have a positive and also up-to-date influence, they must receive training. This training can assist teachers in how to approach students and have successful dialogues about career development. Draaisma, Mahers, and Coopers researched 2 separate studies regarding the effectiveness of teacher training on career development dialogue with their students. They found that simply providing off-the-job training to teachers in this area was not sufficient. However, when combined with individual and team coaching, teachers' guidance conversations about career development and their effectiveness with students improved. This study reveals how not only is career development training good for students, it is also good for those who teach. In the future, this type of research is hopeful to grow in assessing the combined strength of parents and teachers in career development dialogues and training. Another area of research is in the successful development of efficient career programs in smaller education type settings. Schaefer and Rivera researched an early college, high school that was in the process of building and implementing a career development program. After 7 years of building and implementing this program, the researchers found one main element to both program and student success. The key element was to have a member of the school community as a constant forerunner for the program. This person would need to facilitate constant support to key personnel, engage and lead thoroughly on program requirements, and always advocate for the best of the program. Although this may be a requirement in all schools, Schools that are smaller in size especially need to pay attention to this. The benefit of the students was found to also maintain a positive level regarding career development throughout this research.